The first fire extinguisher on record was built in Europe in the Middle Ages. It worked like a giant syringe that squirted water at a fire. The modern extinguisher uses compressed air as a propellant and douses the fire with flame-retardant liquid, powder, or foam. Squeezing the lever opens a valve that releases compressed air. The pressure then propels the chemical through the hose and out the nozzle. Production of the release valve starts with cylindrical pieces of aluminum called blanks. A carousel runs each one through 16 different machining stations. At each stop, under a shower of lubricant, tools shape the blank for 6.5 seconds. As each blank completes the circuit, it comes off the carousel. From blank to valve in 1.25 minutes. Now, the fire extinguisher's aluminum handle is riveted onto the valve. It pivots on a pin. Next, an aluminum lever is riveted onto the handle. This is the lever you squeeze to use the fire extinguisher. Then comes the valve stem, the valve's inner workings. Workers simply place it inside, and an automated assembly machine does the rest. It positions a spring over the stem to create resistance when you squeeze the lever. Then comes a retainer to hold both the stem and spring in position. Now, workers slip on a plastic thimble to position the rubber O-ring that goes on next. The O-ring acts as a seal between the valve and cylinder so nothing leaks out. The siphon tube runs from the valve down into the cylinder. The firefighting chemical goes up this tube, then out the nozzle. The compressed air inside the cylinder is what propels the chemical. This gauge shows if there's sufficient pressure for that to happen. After coating the gauge's threaded stem with sealant to prevent leaks, a worker screws it onto the valve. The valve unit is now fully assembled, tested, and ready for installation on top of the cylinder. To attach it, the cylinder needs a threaded collar. With the help of a press, a worker positions it. The cylinder also needs a bottom. The technique this factory uses to fuse the bottom and collar is called brazing. It's similar to soldering, but with a copper ring as a bonding metal. After positioning a brazing ring at the base of the open cylinder, a steel bottom is pressed into place. Then, workers position a brazing ring over the collar. Now, into a brazing furnace for 1 hour and 45 minutes. The 2,000-degree heat melts the 2 copper rings, bonding the parts they connect. Next stop, the static paint booth, where workers apply a positive electrical charge to the paint particles and a negative charge to the cylinders. This draws the paint onto the surface evenly. Then, it's into an oven for 45 minutes to bake the paint. Once the cylinders cool, automated machinery fills them with a fire-extinguishing powder. The main ingredient is a form of ammonia. When it's sprayed on a fire, the heat melts the particles of powder, fusing them into an oxygen-blocking blanket that smothers the flames. After the cylinders are filled, an automated machine screws a valve onto the collar of each one. Now it's time to pressurize the cylinder. The lever is squeezed to open the valve, enabling a compressor to fill the cylinder with air. They keep filling until the air pressure reaches 13 bars, about 6 times the pressure in a car tire. Next, workers screw on the nozzle and install a locking pin. This immobilizes the lever so the extinguisher can't discharge accidentally. As the instruction sticker says, in case of fire, you just pull the pin, aim, and spray. This mounting bracket lets you hang the fire extinguisher in an accessible spot so it's close at hand if you need it.